I think he would be over the moon. I think he'd be really happy. Uniquely inspirational stories. Nobody else like him. Nobody else did it like him. This one came together when I was finished resting. This one kind of came together, and that's why we wound up doing it.
We are really pleased with this thing. I'm really proud of it, really pleased with it, and cannot wait for everyone to see it. The response was surprised because I didn't know it was going to be so heartwarming and so uplifting and so inspiring. I think anybody can identify with having a dream and wanting to make that dream come true, and that's what we witnessed. You can check off everything on the checklist for Eddie. He knows who Rudy Ray Moore was inspired by Rudy Ray Moore, understands what it's like to work hard, is a comedic genius, also is an actor with unbelievable chops, is a consummate professional. I mean, why would you wouldn't look any further than him. He is the icon. The funny thing is, Eddie is the icon that Rudy wanted to be. It's a story about perseverance and inspiration and making your dream come true. It was a very positive vibe on set, and we all had a blast, but we were having a blast in the scenes. We were having a blast between action and cut. There wasn't a lot of, cutting up and hijinks and practical jokes, and I think that we were all showing a kind of reverence to Rudy and all of the hard work that he did.
It's cool, to be able to shed light on somebody, a great icon like Rudy Ray Moore. Too bad he's not here to see it, but this is a big reward, man. We honoring somebody who paved the way for a lot of us, before we even had an opportunity to think about how to do it. He was the first Tyler Perry. He was the first African-American film maker, So to be able to portray him and this character, to watch Eddie Murphy work, it was beautiful.
Let me tell you something. These guys here, their job is fantastic. They're incredible. What they wrote and what they put together here is a masterpiece. It's a marvel of cinematic, magical reality that all of us are experiencing in quantum time. I love you all.
Thank you, Durable.
Hire me again.
Yeah, it was a lot of entertainment on set every day. Everybody was loving and fun and silly and respect, and it was a beautiful atmosphere. His perseverance, his independent filmmaking was just really genius. I mean, he was a real guerrilla about it. I couldn't dream it. I couldn't have dreamt it. It was phenomenal. Believe in yourself.
Oh, it's life-changing, and it's something that it's what everyone would expect it to be, and then everything that's not, you know what I mean? And it was such, we naturally built a family and rallied one another and supported one another. When we didn't have to come to work, we came to work to support each other in each other's scenes. And Eddie really just set a precedent for us all with so much vigor and passion that he brought to, the work. So it was like, if he's doing it, I gotta do it. I think he'd be overwhelmed with joy and pride. Something that I take from him is that not only was he selfless and just wanted to express himself through art, but also that he did it for his culture, not expecting to get anything out of it, but merely like this need in his gut to release this art to the world. These are the types of stories that need to be heard, and there's so many stories that we hear on repeat. So to hear about these unsung heroes, especially within the Black community, is a big deal, because representation matters.
From the perspective of being a Black person, we never thought this day would come. Nobody was checking for Rudy Ray Moore. We knew what he meant to us. We didn't even know if anybody besides us knew about him. And he was an icon to us, and he was all we had at that time. We weren't making major motion pictures. He did it himself. Guerrilla filmmaking, we didn't care. We loved it. As a person myself, I knew Rudy. I worked with him like 5 times. He gave me gifts. We have photographs, and I was able to show Eddie some of the stuff that Rudy gave me and to let him know the connection. So this is a full circle moment for me, for him to not be forgotten, for him to be portrayed by Eddie Murphy. This is a great day in Black Hollywood, honey. It's happening again with the filming of Coming to America too. The set is like everybody is happy to be there. Everybody knows that there's 100 people standing behind them doing shit. They were there. Everybody is proud of being there. Everybody loves Eddie. And we don't have many icons left, And he stood the test of time. That you can persevere, that you can survive, that if you have a dream, no, it's not an option to make it happen. Don't take no for an answer. and forge ahead, and you can make anything happen if you just believe.
You've got a little secret weapon that's suddenly going to be unleashed, and that weapon is a big old missile of excitement called Rudy Ray Moore. I think everybody that sees the movie, they get excited about his story, and I think it's just extra special because it's Eddie Murphy telling his story. Well, first of all, I think Eddie understood his comedy, and Eddie understood that his particular brand of comedy was something that, you know, is not necessarily for everyone, but the people who love it with all their heart. You know, he's obviously one of the best entertainers of our age, and it's really great to not only see him be funny, but I think Eddie has an incredibly moving, subtle performance in this as well. Every day was a joy to come to work, you know. Everybody wanted to be there. They all felt this purpose to tell this story. But also, you know, I think it was just, you get that many funny people together that have been doing the comedy circuit that long. They're going to be talking about old stories, talking about people in clubs that they remember back in the day. Well, I'll tell you what I get out of the film is that I started up as an independent filmmaker, and there's so many times that I think with whatever it is you want to do, whether it's making movies or music or art or anything, there's just so many things that keep you down. And I think that Rudy really is this fantastic hero to show you that, you know, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can just keep fighting and get what you want out of this world.
Well, the 70s is always a fun period to replicate, but also, you know, it was all about Eddie Murphy, and this is something that he's wanted to do for so long. To work with Brewer also, you know, with the Loving Hustle and Flow, one of my favorite films. So I think that the combination of people and the subject matter made it totally worth, you know, taking on the challenge. You know, it was a hot summer. It was a long, hot summer, but we made it through, you know, with, you know, a great ensemble and great attitudes and a lot of fun. It was produced during the blaxploitation era, but it has none of the trappings of blaxploitation because Rudy financed it himself. And, you know, he's an entrepreneur, and it's really it's a great story to tell, you know, from that era.
I think the big part of it is that he refused to take no for an answer. You know, Eddie Murphy has a great line about him. He says, you know, he was a loser who refused to lose. You know, so no matter what happened, he would get back up. He wouldn't accept a closed door. I think that's why over the years his movies have become more and more popular and more important than even what they were back then, because you can't take your eyes off of him. What he's doing is so crazy.
Rudy was just sort of throwing a party for 90 minutes.
He was making the movie he wanted to see.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that's why now we all want to see it, and why it made such a great material for a movie.
The only reason to make the movie is if it's going to be Eddie.
Yeah.
And so when we were writing every day, we just kept giggling, and we would put in jokes that we knew only Eddie's going to get. It was just like real inside baseball stuff.
Also, I think we had both admired Eddie's talents and think he's one of the great movie stars of all time. We've worked on lots and lots of movies and TV shows. We've never had one where just literally every time we hit the red carpet, every time we go somewhere, every time we go to show up on the set, it's like literally, it's like, oh my God, I'm having such a great time. I really love these people.
Hold on. OJ, the performer. Over Babatunde.